to our first keynote address, a voice that has consistently contributed to building and scaling impactful ecosystems. It is my privilege to invite Mr. Madan Padaki, founder Jan AI, founder and CEO OneBridge. Welcome, Madan. Please join us on the stage.
Maybe I'll just start off. Thank you. Thank you, Ashu. Namaskar from Bangalore, and wonderful to be back in Chandigarh. My in-laws were at home this morning when I left from Bangalore, and they were saying, you seem to visit Chandigarh more than our hometown, which is Mysore. Right? And they were trying to say, do you have any other home in Chandigarh that makes you get to there so often? I was here actually last month as well on the way to Solan. And I had a tough time answering that question. At that point of time, I actually wanted to call up Puneet and say, speak to the guy who gets me here often. So first of all, congratulations to TiECON Chandigarh for putting together yet another wonderful TiECON. You know, I think I was just remembering this is my 4th consecutive TiECON, and a friend of mine in the afternoon said, you know, if you start counting, you'll have to count all the way to 20 or 25, so stop doing it, which I think is a good advice. What I wanted to do today, in the next 7-8 minutes, is to just put a perspective on what we can together do as an ecosystem. You know, Vijay's wonderful presentation, TiE as an ecosystem of such a powerful network around the world. How do we leverage the moment that exists today? And we all are seeing, you know, what Elon Musk called as the supersonic tsunami that's hitting us. Either we can be the victims here and say, you know what, the conversations that I hear are AI is taking away jobs, it's hitting us hard, we're seeing job losses, you know, every now and then, and maybe that's one way to look at it, which is the way of looking at Gen AI or whatever. There's another way to look at it to say, how can we leverage the supersonic tsunami to work for us? You know, one manifestation is to look at AI at the center and people around, and all of us wondering, what will AI do to us? But I want to flip that around and say, let's put people at the center, put AI around, and the right question to ask is, what can AI do to better the lives of people? And I think we as a community have the power to shape that narrative, right? And that's what I call as Jan AI. Not Gen AI, but how do you really imagine that as Jan AI or people AI, and how do you take the power of AI to the people, right? And truly, the last year or so, we've been working to make Jan AI available in its full force at the villages of India. We've been struggling with various issues, and the beauty from an entrepreneurial mind is when we see problems everywhere, as I say, every problem is an opportunity in disguise. So how do we convert those problem statements that we've had for years? Farmers not getting the right price for the crops, right? A woman entrepreneur in a rural area not being able to sell her wares, the products, the artisanal products to buyers across the world. A healthcare ASHA worker not being able to give the right kind of information at the right time for the households, or an Anganwadi worker not being able to teach the right skills to young kids in the classrooms. The beauty is, in the age of AI, it gives us an opportunity to reimagine every problem statement and to figure out how we can change life for the better. And to me, that was what the India AI Impact Summit, I think there was a fantastic pre-summit event in end of January here. And Jan AI was present at the India AI Impact Summit in a fairly big way. We were, in fact, the only pavilion that were accorded in the country pavilion, so much so that people thought we were the official India pavilion. We were there in Hall 14 with all the countries. Because the beauty of the India AI Impact Summit was all about that. I think the most important word there was impact. So in the last year or so, we've been toying around with a variety of experiments to do three things at the same time. One, how do you train and how do you orient the common man, the people, the Jan, on the power of AI? Two, how do we leverage local college students? Because the beauty of AI is hyper-personalization, hyper-localization. How can you help youth coming from government colleges, engineering colleges, become problem solvers and solution creators in their own localities, right? And third, how do you bring the tech players into the game to create solution stacks where AI solutions can be created and then built and taken to the market? So we've been conceptualizing something called as an ideal AI village to bring all of these together, that when you can build all of this together and even deliver it through what I call as a agentic AI cafe, right? Internet got democratized through internet centers. Before that, PCOs got democratized through, telecom got democratized through PCOs. So we are envisioning a place where there's an entrepreneur in every village who acts as a glue, as a trusted service network for the local community to understand how to use AI in their own lives. And some of these experiments are beginning to bear some fruits. I just want you to play one video of a farmer from Kalburgi that we worked with IIIT Dharwad, and these students went to his village, taught him how to use an AI tool, and he used it to detect crop disease patterns in the cotton farms that he was running. And to me, what he says is the power of what is possible. Can you play the Patil video, please? No,
Once, a simple spinning wheel gave India strength. It turned thread into freedom.
If you can stop this.
Today, once, a simple spinning wheel gave India strength. It turned thread into freedom.
If you can just pull that out. So this was an example where we worked with students
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
in Harvard.
ನಾನು ಗುಡ್ಲಿಂಗಪ್ಪ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕಲಬುರಗಿ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಿಂದ ಧರ್ಮಾಪುರ ತಾಲೂಕು ಧರ್ಮಾಪುರ ಗ್ರಾಮದಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ರೈತ ನಾನು. AI ಅಂದರೆ ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲಿ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸಿ. ಸೊ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ನಾವು ಈ ಧಾರವಾಡ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ಇದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಸಿಕ್ತು. ಮತ್ತು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅನುಕೂಲವಾಗತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಆ್ಯಪನ್ನು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಚಾಟ್ GPT ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ರೈತರು ಯಾವುದೇ ಥರದ ಬೆಳೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ರೋಗ ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವ ನಾವು ಔಷಧಿಯನ್ನು ಸಿಂಪಡಿಸಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವ ಥರದ ನಾವು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂದ ಬೆಲೆ ಗೊತ್ತೋ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
He's of course speaking in Kannada, but you could read the subtitles. So the interesting thing was that these kids went to him, created a wraparound on ChatGPT, taught him how to take photos on his phone, which is as simple as that of crop that every week, and ran a small language model to check for crop disease patterns. And he was able to detect a crop disease onset, he says, 2 weeks before my eyes could catch it. And that, he says, saved 20-30% of my crops, because it was able to tell me where is a challenge and what kind of pesticides or something that you need to put there. So the use cases are all there, and our endeavor is to work with universities, colleges to create this network of job creators, of innovators who can then work on problem statements, create solutions at a local level, deploy it, and eventually create a business model that can generate an army of entrepreneurs. You know, Murali and I have been talking about Mission 1-10-100, that how do you create 1 million entrepreneurs who can create 100 jobs each to create $1 billion in value. I think one of the possible solution sets is where AI can play a role in creating these hundreds of entrepreneurs in every district who can go on to create solutions. And to me, that also solves the massive demographic challenge that we have, that how do you convert that challenge to an opportunity where these youth can start creating solutions, reimagining problem statements across several areas. In fact, just on the MSME side, we've identified 77 problem statements that can be solved using AI. And imagine then going to hundreds of MSMEs offering these as solutions around supply chain, procurement, marketing, so on and so forth. So we're delighted to work together with a bunch of partners. Chitkara is here. I have always been supportive of the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So we are doing an MOU tomorrow at 10:30 with Chitkara as well as Shulini University Delighted to work together with TiECON Chandigarh to say how can we take this message to all the states here, right? Haryana, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir. How can we take this movement and start creating entrepreneurs? Next year, perhaps we'll be able to recognize, support hundreds of rural entrepreneurs who come back with very interesting solutions using AI for farmers, small business owners, so on and so forth. And that's a challenge that I think we can all take up together to say, can we get at least 10 such entrepreneurs next year at TiECON Chandigarh and support them? And I really look forward to working with each and every one of you on that. I'll just end with a small 1-minute video that captures the vision of Gen AI. If you can just play the last video, please.
Once, a simple spinning wheel gave India strength. It turned thread into freedom. Today, another wheel is turning. Ramesh stands in his field. He does not guess anymore. He listens. And in that small voice, he finds certainty. Sita has always cared for everyone. Now something cares for her. Not loudly, just gently. Anjali dreams big. She does not leave her village. She grows with it. Knowledge travels, voice to voice, home to home. Change does not always roar. Sometimes it glows. The spinning wheel once made us self-reliant. This digital charka can do it again. This is Jan AI. Let every village shine. Join the movement.
Thank you, and look forward to working together to truly make Gandhiji's dream of a self-reliant villages come through with this digital charka. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madan. Please stay back. And I now invite Mr. Piyush Garg, Vice President, SEED, Chitkara University, to join us for the felicitations. Let us have a big round of applause. Thank you.